Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out at Churchill's Gym in London. Delighted to be joined by the IBF cruiserweight champion of the world, JAI OPETAIA, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world today. Also, how's it all going?
Going good, man. Training's been going good. You know, it's been a good. I think we've been there for about a week now. So, yeah.
How long have you actually been in the UK? You said about a week. You were at the Peacock Gym yesterday, I believe. Now here at Churchill's, just getting the best sparring available over here.
Yeah, it's been good. You know, everyone's keen to move around with me around here. You know, everyone wants to sort of earn a bit of respect and take my head off. So that's the sparring we want. You know, we want some hard rounds. So it's not hard to find around here.
What made you decide to come over here for the last kind of few weeks of preparations? Is it because of the, you know, how near it is to going over to Saudi in a few weeks?
No, well, we just had to come for the press conference, so we thought we may as well just stay over here, and then we'll just go to Saudi from here. You know, the time difference is not very different compared to Australia, so we're pretty much just acclimatising here, and we're honestly just getting a head start on it.
Now, one of the people you sparred at the Peacock, I believe, was Zurdo, who you've obviously fought and, you know, fair to say, dispatched pretty quickly in that fight. For people out there that don't really know, what can you get out of sparring someone that you've already defeated pretty conclusively?
Well, I'm sparring three dudes at once, you know what I mean? They're all rotating around, and you know, Zurdo's trying to get me back as well, you know what I mean? So he's coming out the bang, he's trying to take my head off, so it's good. You know, it's bodies in front of me. Zurdo, even though, you know, I knocked him out early, he's still not a bad little fighter, you know what I mean? He's got some tricks up his sleeve, and you know, if I make a mistake, I'm going to pay the price. So, you know, it's good rounds in the bank. You know, there's three different fighters all rotating, coming in fresh. So.
Now, October the 12th, it's Jack Massey, comes in as the reigning European champion. Big win for him over Usyk Chamberlain as well. I've seen a lot of quotes attributed to you about kind of putting away the ideas of unifications for the minute, focusing fully on him. How much of a challenge is that, though? Because instead of going into a fight where you've got it all to gain, this is now one where you've got your title to lose.
Mate, it is what it is. You know what I mean? We've got a fight in front of us. We take it serious and we have to win. You know, that's all we think about. All that outside noise doesn't really matter. You know, Jack Massey, he's a real contender for, you know, a real fighter. So, you know, I'm expecting a hard fight. I'm prepared for a hard fight. So we just go to war on the 12th.
How close were you to nailing down one of the unification fights before this was solidified?
Who knows? You know what I mean? It's all talk until the fucking contract's put in front of you, you know? So they're all just words. But, you know, Jack Massey's who I got, and that's who I've got to focus on. The other things don't matter anymore, you know? 12th of October, we've got a job to do. So we must win.
And there's been a lot said about your fights with Zurdo, Jordan Thompson as well, that they were a bit overmatched. And you proved that in the ring, of course. Have you been frustrated that you haven't had the consistent level of opposition perhaps you'd have liked? Obviously, you had Breedis, those two, then Breedis again. Would you have liked to have had a higher level of opposition in between?
Mate, I don't complain. You know what I mean? I'm not out here hand-picking fights and picking the way my journey's going, you know? I'm chasing unification fights, and when they don't happen, whoever's on the other side of that ring, that's who I have to beat. You know what I mean? There's no personal stuff. I'm just training and doing what I got to do. You know what I mean? I'm not picking the fights.
Can you understand why Chris Billam-Smith, who's got the WBO title, has opted to unify, not against you next time out, but against Zurdo Ramirez? Perhaps a big money fight for him, and maybe he sees it as an easier fight, potentially.
I honestly don't know, and I don't care. You know what I mean? 12th of October, I'm fighting Jack Massey. Serious fight. That's where my focus is. You know what I mean? Before that, I was chasing unification fights. They didn't happen. So now Jack Massey is my only, you know, target. That's it.
Let's talk a bit more about Jack Massey then. You've obviously watched his recent fights. What do you make of his kind of major strengths and threats that he poses?
He's a good fighter. You know, I'm expecting a hard fight. I'm prepared for a hard fight. You know, he's tough, he's durable, he can box pretty well. So, you know, we've got to get in the ring and adapt.
How much you watch out for the hunger factor in this as well? I'm not saying you're not hungry, of course, but this is his huge opportunity. It may never come again for him. You've been at this level for a lot longer. Is that something you need to be wary of?
Of course. You know, that's something we take serious with all these fighters. You know, everyone that steps in the ring with me, you know, everyone's always trying to downplay my opposition and this and that, bro. But, you know, before I fought Breedis, I was no one. You know, no one even heard of me. So I'm just expecting them to be like that, you know, waiting for their opportunity. So I take this shit serious. You know, this is my life. So, you know, I'm training hard and I have to win. So this is all that plays in my mind.
How satisfied were you with the rematch victory over Breedis, given what you'd gone through to win the first fight with the jaw and so on? You were able to kind of measure how far you'd come in the 2 years. How happy were you with that?
Man, it was all learning. You know what I mean? It was a good learning fight, good progress. You know, I feel like we've taken a lot out of that fight and we've moved forward from there. So, you know, I'm not looking backwards, I'm looking forwards. So I'm just looking at putting on more and more better performances.
With all the money swirling around both Riyadh season and specifically in the heavyweight division, is there kind of an unseen pressure or incentive to move up sooner rather than later just because of what's available right now?
There's no pressure. Man, there's always pressure. You know, there's always pressure on us fighters. You know, these fights count. You know, these fights can change our life. So the pressure's always there, but we do what we want. You know, all we focus on is winning fights. You know, as long as we perform, you know, we train hard, we're fit, we're strong, we're ready for fights. We just got to fight well, win the fights, and the rest will fall into place. You know what I mean? As fast as the progress goes, as moving up heavy or, you know, collecting the rest of the belts, there's no rush for that. You know what I mean? I'm 29 years old. I feel like I'm just rolling into my peak, so I've got time to make decisions.
And Chris Billam-Smith, as I mentioned, he's fighting Zurdo Ramirez in a unification fight the month after your fight. What do you make of that? How do you see that one kind of shaping up?
Yeah, it's a good fight. You know, made the best man win, and I'll see you after it.
No prediction?
I don't care.
Fair enough. I mean, Chris Billam-Smith said that in an ideal world, you would be next for him after that. You've obviously got an IBF mandatory pressing as well. You want it to be for all the belts, presumably all three, if whoever comes through that fight. How will you balance that?
Man, I'm spewing, you know. I wanted to collect the belts one by one. You know, I wanted to beat them all individually, so there was no argument about it, you know, and I could hold all those belts up and be proud of it, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, this is the way the path has gone. And man, honestly, I just want to stay busy, keep fighting. You know, I want progress fights. But you know, I've got all this shit going on, all these mandatories. All I do is here, in this gym. We train hard. You know what I mean? They give me a date, we got to win the fight. All this outside noise, that's their business. You know, that's my manager's job to worry about that. I worry about the gym work, you know, getting my body bright, getting my fucking preparation good, staying fit, staying strong. Everything else, all you boys, what you talk about, I don't think about that stuff. You know what I mean? They come to me with a date and they say, oh, you're fighting him? Fuck, let's do it. You know what I mean?
Would there be any frustration on your part, though, if you had to, whether it's moving up or making a different route without ever becoming undisputed?
We don't got to do anything we don't want to do. You know what I mean? Being undisputed is a realistic thing. You know, I don't understand why we'd have to even move up unless we got all the belts. You know what I mean? It's a smart thing to do, not just for myself, but for the rest of the champions as well. You know, I feel like that's what champions should do. They want to fight other champions and fight for other belts. That's the whole fucking point of the sport. Otherwise, we're just maintaining what we have. You know, I want progress. I want to grow. I want to get better. I want, you know, so I just feel like it has to happen.
Chris Billam-Smith did an interview with us last week. He hasn't gone live on the channel yet. But in it, he said that he felt the rematch victory over Breedis, your performance humanised you. He said everyone was hyping you up. That made you seem more human. And although people were comparing you to Usyk is a much better fighter than you. Do you say, you know, given Usyk's standing and experience, fair comment? Or is that edging towards trash talk?
It's just, what's with the back and forth? Let's fight. What the hell are we even doing all this shit for? Come find out. You know, how good I are. Let's go.
Do you think, and I think I've asked you this before, but do you think that it's Chris Billam-Smith avoiding fighting you, or his team perhaps in this case?
Mate, I don't know. And honestly, I don't even really think about it that much. You know what I mean? Like, I just focus on training every day, winning the days every day, training hard, getting the body right, constantly hard work, grinding. That's it. You know what I mean? The fights will come. They have to come. I just got to keep proving I'm the best. They have to come. You know, winning is all I care about. Winning these fights.
How important is it to you that you get top quality sparring, not just ahead of your own fights, but when you haven't got a fight lined up as well? Because it's replacing that competitive action you would otherwise be getting?
Sparring's always good. We don't really spar outside of our camps. You know what I mean? We stay fit and we stay strong, but there's no need to. You know what I mean? When we spar hard. So there's no. We do lots of partner work and stuff like that, keeping the eye in, getting the distance and stuff. But there's no point for hard sparring unless you're preparing for war. You know what I mean? And right now we're preparing for war, so we're looking for hard sparring. So.
With that in mind, we know Tyson Fury's got his rematch in December with Alexander Usyk. You're a southpaw, very gifted one of the best in the world. Is there a chance we see you in that Fury camp once your fight's all said and done after October?
Well, it depends if I'll be fighting on the card or not. If I'm fighting on the card, I'll probably be focusing on my own camp. But if I'm not, I'm happy to go there and help out. You know what I mean? Why not? It's a great atmosphere to be around other world champions. You know what I mean? And it's Tyson Fury. He's the heavyweight champion of the world, or was. So it's all learning. It's good to be around other people like that and learn and sponge, and it's all positive sort of stuff. Being around other world champion teams. So why not? I feel like it's silly not to.
And obviously your time in the Fury camp previously was abbreviated. Do you think spending longer working with you can help Fury, especially going up against another talented southpaw?
Mate, that's for their camp to decide. You know what I mean? I can't control their camp, so I'm happy to help if they need help. If not, it's fine. I'll focus on my own shit. Like, you know what I mean? These questions, it doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? They ring up, say they want spar, and I'm happy to go spar. If they don't, it's all good.
How keen are you to be on that December card? Because you mentioned there it's a possibility.
I'd love to stay busy. I'd love to be on that December card, but they're talking about fighting the winner out of, for the Unification fight going on in the cruiserweight. So we just see what happens. If we can get on it, we'll get on it. If the Unification fight happens, we'll get that. So who knows, man? We just got to focus on 12th of October, and then after we win that, then we focus on the next move.
There was a lot of talk after Fury's defeat to Usyk about his corner and some of the confusion going on there. You've obviously spent some time in his camp. What did you make of the setup there? Were you impressed by it?
Everyone's always want to point the finger when someone goes wrong. Something goes wrong, everyone's always trying to blame each other and it's his fault. And it is what it is. I feel like that's what tears teams apart, is when something goes wrong and then they start to blame each other. You know what I mean? That's when they should come together, think about what's happened, work as a team and move forward. And I think that's how they'll progress and they could come back to win the fight. I feel like he's got the tools to win the fight. You know what I mean? But I feel like blaming each other in the team would be the worst thing to do. The team needs to work together and focus on what to fix, not, you know what I mean? Just fucking pointing the finger and saying it's his fault or his fault.
There's a lot of upcoming fighters out there who admire JAI OPETAIA, probably watch your tapes and try and improve their own game as a result. Who do you look to, either fighters from the past or current ones? Who do you admire?
Man, right now, in the present, we're just so focused on our own journey at the moment. You know what I mean? There's obviously that respect amongst fighters that you see people at the top level, you know what it takes, and you understand the sort of journey other people have taken to get there and remain there. So there's that mutual respect, but we're just focused on ourselves. We've got people to feed, we've got family to take care of and stuff to do, so we ain't got time to be worried about other people's business and stuff like that. Obviously, we support the world of boxing, and we're always going to back the great fights and stuff like that, and the big names will always watch those fights, but the ins and out and the outside noise, we're not focused on that. We're focused on our team right here and trying to train,
But no fighters of the past, perhaps, that you look at and take elements from? I don't know if there's anyone you looked up to when you were first getting into the sport, for example.
Yeah, of course. There's that science of the sport that you sort of, I'm a massive Evander Holyfield fan, growing up watching him, even he was my same height, fighting a lot bigger dudes, so it's like sort of a path that I look down. But, I love the southpaws, and when I was coming up, as a young amateur and stuff, I was part of the Mayweather era. You know what I mean? He sort of changed he changed the sport. You know what I mean? He turned it into a game of hit and not get hit, instead of a game of You know, who can take the most hits and keep coming forward, type of stuff. You know what I mean? So I feel like the science of the sport. But I just appreciate good boxing. You know what I mean? I appreciate good fighters, like the feet work. When you put all these little things together, that makes a great fighter. It's not, the punching's the easy part. Anyone can get in there and throw some punches, but it's when you know how to create distance, cut angles, and the right punches at the right time, and counter punching, being first, feints, it's things like that I appreciate fighters, and I sit there and I watch, and things like that. But yeah, there's a few out there. But
with that in mind, what do you think's the most notable quality of yours that perhaps people miss, commentators, writers, and so on? What are they not seeing that you're particularly good at?
I think our power is being able to adapt. Is having everything in our back pocket. We train for anything. We train for a front foot fighter. We train for a counter puncher. So I think being able to adapt to anyone in the ring, and being able to adapt and use your tools, having enough ammunition to fight anyone, in any sort of circumstance, in the pocket, out long, mid-range, long range. So I feel like that's the strength, is covering all bases.
And you mentioned Mayweather there. Clearly, I can see similarities in the ring. Outside the ring, it appears you couldn't be more different. You seem like a very kind of low-key, humble sort of guy, not brash, not making everyone know about how much money you've got. And I know that's not the only side to Mayweather, but still. Is that an accurate description of what you're like outside the ring?
But we're here for a purpose. We're here to get a job done, and that's it. You know what I mean? We want to fight, take care of business, win these fights, get paid, and then go home and have good times with our family. You know what I mean? That's all that matters to us. I'm either fighting or fishing or hanging out with my family. So if it ain't part of those three things, I'm always willing to help someone, or, we can all get there at the same. But, I've got enough on my plate. I don't need other people fucking getting in my shit and all my business. I've got an actual life outside of this, like people to family to look after and stuff like that. So it doesn't bother me, we just here to win fights.
Is that a relief as well, spending time at home with your family, where they just treat you like JAI rather than, the big boxing world champion?
Definitely. I got like 5 sisters, so it's very humbling being around them. Like I come around here, do interviews, you're the man, fuck. Well, I go around them, I wear a shirt, they're just like, what are you wearing there? You know what I mean? It's humbling being around family, being around people that have been there since day one, so it's good.
Are you youngest, oldest, in the middle?
I've got 4 older sisters, then me, then a brother, then a little sister. So
what was that like growing up? Big family?
It was good. Yeah. It was fun. It was funner in a 4-bedroom house too, so kept us busy.
Toughened you up a bit as well, I imagine.
Definitely, but I got a couple of hidings off my older sisters, eh?
They'll love watching this. This is one interview of yours they'll watch. Have you got a family of your own yet?
Yes, I do. I've just had my first child. She's about 11 weeks old, so even being here away from her, it's sacrifice. I wish I was there, but I can't be. I'm here, so it all counts.
How important is that family aspect? Not the old cliche of, well, you've got a kid now, you've got to provide, but more that they're supporting you from afar, they're helping, raise your child while you're here. That must be pretty, reassuring for you.
Yeah, it's good. Well, my family's solid. We've always been there for each other, so I've never had to question that.
Are you planning to be a hands-on father? Will you be changing the nappies, diapers, and so on?
Of course. I'll do whatever she wants, man. You're a dad. You don't get to pick.
How hard is it? You said, you wish you could be there with her. How hard is it with her still being this young? I know you always say you've got a job to do and everyone respects that, but mentally, emotionally, when you're at wherever you're staying on your own at night or whatever, is it tough?
It is tough, but at the end of the day, we're here for a purpose. We're here for that's why we train hard, because we're not here to waste time. That's why we're here to take care of business. We're away from family. It's not just me, it's all of us. My whole team's away from their family. So we all make sacrifices. I've got people believing in me, so we've got a job to do.
What's the secret behind the tight-knit nature of your team?
we're all in it for the same reasons. You know, no one's in it for greed. We're here to win fights. You know, we all see the bigger picture, that light at the end of the tunnel. And, you know, my team, it's funny, man, because they're so different. You know, they're always clashing. There's little things, but we're all here for the same purpose. We're all here to be the best fighter. You know what I mean? I've got everyone here, and they come from all different parts of Australia, all different upbringings, you know, and we've all come here as a team. We don't even know how it's happened. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Life's just crazy how it's all sort of panned out, but we're here now, and we're all making the most of it. We're all enjoying the journey, and it's an exciting part of our lives, all of us.
I imagine it's quite a fun atmosphere in the gym for you guys as well. Who's the funniest? Who's the one always cracking jokes, making everyone laugh?
Fucking Kez. Hey, Kez is the glue, man. Hey, Kez is the glue, keeps the team together, bro. So he's fucking a funny dude.
He's going to love that now as well. Who gets to choose the music?
Man, the music, bro, we're not too fussed about things like that, you know. We've got conditioner, we've got the boxing coach, we've got the manager, and then we got the assistant coach, Kez, you know, and then we got little Harry, walks around with the camera following us around, but you know, everyone does their job, everyone does their thing, and you know, together we'll fucking, I don't know how it's all going to work together, but you know, it has worked, and you know, we're here now, and we're competing against the best in the world, so it's got to mean something.
Competing and winning against the best in the world. Let me just ask you a quick twofold question about the gym. Elements of training, what's the one thing you really love doing, can't get enough of? And what's the one you hate and would really rather avoid if you could?
I love doing the thing I hate. You know what I mean? I love the shit you hate, you know, the fucking, I want to be crawling out of the gym. You know, that pain, chasing pain, I want to earn it. You know, I want to be able to go to sleep at night thinking, fuck, no cunt out-train me today. So that's what I chase.
Good stuff. Now, before I let you go, because I know you've got another session of chasing pain to come, I want to ask you about the Joshua Dubois fight, because it was a big recent fight, big surprise. Why are you laughing?
Because I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay.
No. But I've watched the highlights, you know what I mean? I was at a family event. But yeah, I didn't watch it live. And I've done so many interviews, they keep asking me about the fight, and I have to, for a while, I tried to, you know, go along like, oh yeah, you know, it was good.
Should we recut?
They ask me more and more questions. I just keep getting caught out, you know what I mean? But it's great for boxing, you know. It's just opened up the heavyweight division even more. There's another big name in the boxing, you know, the fighters. AJ's such a huge name without a world title, you know what I mean? Now you got Daniel Dubois, who's just built himself up, and he's only 27 years old. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So you look at the mistakes he's made. He was only young. So I feel like it's all just been a roller coaster to where he is now. It's made the world of boxing more exciting. So I just feel like boxing's in such a good place, you know, and things like that. You know, I respect AJ. You know what I mean? And I respect Dubois. So man, just how exciting. You know, as a fan of boxing, seeing, you know, other heavyweight fights to be made now, it's awesome. And these Riyadh seasons are awesome. And fuck, just keep putting me on the cards, because, you know, we want to stay busy too.
I think if you start watching them more often, maybe I'll let you on the card. But from what you know of what happened in the fight, what do you make of the likelihood of AJ taking an immediate rematch with Dubois? Would you recommend it, or would you ideally like to see him go away and have some warm-up fights first?
Hey, it's not up to me, you know what I mean? I don't know why like, he do what he wants. Like, why wouldn't you want to take the rematch? If I was him, I'd take the rematch. Like, why not? You know what I mean? It's the heavyweight boxing. Anything could happen, you know? So, fuck, get in there. And you know AJ, bro, he's a fucking soldier. He never backs down from a challenge, you know? He's always working hard, ticking every box, going in a fight, you know? He's a machine, so why not?
Stuff. Now, just before I let you go, 1 year's time from now, boxing career-wise, where would you like to be? What would you like to have achieved that you don't have at the moment?
Well, I'd like to definitely have more belts than what I have now. But yeah, we're chasing unification belts, man. But, man, we sort of just take every fight as it comes, you know. We're grateful to be here, but at the same time, we deserve to be here. You know, a year ago, I didn't think I was going to be here. You know what I mean? And a year before that, I was fucking 117 kilos with a broken hand. You know what I mean? Like my life is just a fucking roller coaster. So, like I said, in this gym is where we get our work done. And then when those fights come, we just got to be ready for the opportunities.
And so with that in mind, one tip for young fighters out there that you've learned from your own experience?
Just get there. Get to the gym. That's the hardest thing, is just getting to the gym. You know what I mean? Once you're there, then it just happens, you know? You're not going to go to the gym and just fucking watch. You just got to wake up and get there, you know? Go to the gym or go do what you want to do. Show up. You just got to show up. Keep showing up. Consistency. Show up every day. And then it'll happen, you know? When the opportunities come, you know, the opportunity will come if you keep going for it. And if you're not ready for the opportunity, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, no, I can't, man. Like, you know, I'm not ready for it. That's your opportunity gone. That might not ever come around in your life. But if you stay ready, even when they're not there, the opportunity's not coming, you stay ready, you stay fucking consistent, and you get that phone call and you go, oh, this fight's here. You know, you're going to be ready in 2 weeks? Done. I'm there. You know what I mean? Change your whole life. So stay consistent. Keep pushing, keep showing up.
Great stuff. Really appreciate it. Best of luck on October the 12th. But yeah, thanks for your time.